Right, it's Wednesday, week 2 of the the adaptions. And I'm not going to lie, I did think that I would be further forward with all this than what it actually is. I just think it's just a bit of a piss take, to be honest. Yesterday was, right, so Monday, I had no builders over. Nothing happened whatsoever. I was a bit miffed that nothing happened. I was like, come on. I've had the first week was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I had somebody come and that was it. And then Friday was nothing. I had the builder that came on Tuesday, which he was brilliant, who rearranged some of the plan and put the cupboard space for my food prep area, right by the cooker, which made absolute sense instead of what the OT had put out for the, a fridge freezer in the, I'm going to show, a fridge freezer being here and no food prep area and the food prep at the back of the kitchen. It made no sense. So she actually rearranged stuff and she was so, he just was like, it makes sense to put it here. And, you've got your space. I mean, the thing is, I'm waiting on the OT to come out because I've said that the height of the cooker, I'm feeling that I would rather, while all this is all going on, I'd rather sort of get sorted out now. Instead of having the cooker, having one of those hobs, the induction hobs, so the height can be sort of adjusted to almost the work surface space for me. And then I would have to get an air fryer oven for the oven bit, but that's fine because I want one anyway. But this would be a lot safer for me than how it is now. Yeah. So to give me a date of when she's going to come over. She says, I sent her some photographs and I said I want this sort of looking into. And she says, I'll come over and have a look and have a look in my diary. And I'm thinking, well, I haven't heard anything. I've messaged her and said, when can you fit me in? So yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday, that builder that sorted the areas out in my kitchen for me on Tuesday, and he ordered me the door that's been put onto the kitchen, which I love. And he and I discussed the bedroom door, and he also sorted that out on an order. So he's really, really good. And then Friday he came over. He was supposed to come Thursday and he didn't. And he said that I'm ever sorry I couldn't come. I got poached to another job that's been messed up. And I was thinking, I hope they haven't punched him, and I think they have. So on Friday he came over and he came to take his tools basically because he needed to have them for Saturday for going to sort some job out that's been ballsed up down in Shrewsbury. Because I know my OT is based in Stafford, but she does Shrewsbury area as well, which I'm like, what? Anyway, so the weekend come. I thought, well, nothing's going to happen the weekend. Then Monday come, nothing happened at all. I thought, here we go again. Last Monday I had nothing. Then Tuesday, I had the electrician, no, Monday evening, so about 4 o'clock time, I had a chap come out to take photos and stuff for the electrician. So we knew what roughly was going to be happening. And Tuesday, I had the electrician eventually turn up, but I had a guy that came out to sort out the doorways and doors. And then I had 2 men come to do the, I'll show you now, sort of my mug, to widen the doorway at the end of this wall. So my living room, which was there. But my cats are in there, well, they were in there. And I says, I thought I'll be buggered if I'm opening the door up so they can widen that doorway. So the cats will be running around and then they'll be scared of all the builders and doors will be opening and closing. I won't be able to relax. It's bad enough having a whole heap of people, in your home, and there's not much room as there is. So yeah. So the builders for that bit said, oh, we'll come back. So Tuesday, the electrician that turned up eventually, because Stafford's roadways have gone a bit crazy. We've got roadworks in one part of the town. In fact, there's several areas that have got roadworks undergoing, but there's another one that's started where it's a one-way system, so you can't go up it, but you can only come down. And it's a big main road, and it's just causing chaos. And Tuesday, there was a big accident on the motorway. So everything was just sent through Stafford, and it was just chaotic. So when the electrician eventually did turn up, he was like trying to cut corners, I think. So what he did do was he boxed off the switch, which is up there, and made me a light switch, which is lower, which is lovely. This is brilliant. I love it. This hasn't been touched, which needs to be raised. So I need to point that out to him when he does come back. He thinks he's in for an easy ride, and I'm like, no, I'm going to make my point across now, and I'll explain as I go along in this vid. The doorway was done. We need the plasterer to come and do, the plasterer apparently is coming tomorrow, because this doorway needs to be wood and plaster for the doorway to go on. So yeah, so this is all going to be like a bifold door. So it creates space, so I've got a bit more room in the bedroom rather than a doorway to fight with. This was sort of added to the frame. Always makes me think of strawberry mousse when I look at this. Marshmallow. So yeah, this bifold door was put on. So I'm going to have that. Obviously it needs handles and all the bits and bobs to go on there. I don't know what else they're going to do to it, but I have to be careful because that wood does move. There's a bit of wood that moves if I touch it too much. Now then, the switches. Ooh, hello. So, hello. Look at you. She's a tatty bugger. I mean, every time I brush her, there's areas of her that's tidy and then there's messy fur. So she's like got old fur and new fur on there. I will get her took to the vets and just get her checked to make sure it's not a thyroid going a bit crazy. But she's like a cat of two halves. And then she's got all these bits that I'm trying to get out. They're not mats as such, but they just need a good brush and a detangle, and I try my damnedest with her, so I don't know if I need some specialist shampoo maybe to try and get these bits on, but she has got some mats obviously on that leg. But anyway, that's another video. You're a mess. You're a tatty mess, and I brush you and brush you and brush you, and it does come off, but there's areas that she doesn't like. This is Elsa, by the way. So yeah, so he has done this switch for me. And I asked for 2 switches on that wall. So, and he's like, oh, it's only a small area. And I thought, well, if I've got 2 things plugged in, I still want to have some switches for over there. So I'm not sort of having to have extension cables running across. So we'll see. He says utilise the space. I don't particularly like this electrician. You know, you've got your ones that cut corners and that, and you've got really good workmen, and I think he's one that cuts corners because he was late turning up. I'm supposed to have a switch underneath there for the dryer. That hasn't been done. And when I told him, he was like, oh shit, so I'll have to come back and do that. And I thought, yeah, you will, because that's not staying there. I'm having a dishwasher in there. So that's there. There is sockets behind that cupboard, but obviously everything is all, at the minute, just ditched up that end, so it's out the way. What else? Oh yeah, these switches, these sockets, he's trying his damnedest to get me to not have them moved. Well, I need this plug area because I can't really reach that. I can't reach it anyway from my chair. So I want it to about over here, so I can at least get to. So if I need to plug something in over here, I can do it. Because at this point is like what I call my son's food prep area. But at some point my son is going to want to have his own home and be out and flip the nest. So I want to be able to access stuff like as if this is just for me and not for him and me. But it is meant for my purposes, first and foremost, to make life easier for me. Whole point of this. But yeah, he's trying his damnedest because he says, oh, that the cupboard's going to have to come back off. And I'm thinking, do you know what, so be it. Because the guy that came originally and put the cupboards on, he said that these may have to move off again. So he was all for being prepared that they may move. But the electrician don't want to do it. So it's tough. And it's the same with these. He doesn't want to take them off. Let me take a photo actually. And I've got another one to take, and I'll send these to the OT and I'll say, I don't think the guy wants to do these. I want it moving over a bit more so I can access it. So about here. Hang on, I'm trying to take it out. Need extra hands. Did it take? I don't know. Over here. Right. So that's that bit. I'm still rolling. So yeah, the cooker area is got to be assessed and looked at and talked about, and she's going to come over and do that. But there's all these things that I need sorting out and looking at. The switch has been moved, so it's lower, which is fabulous. No stretching here. But again, in the bedroom, you have to excuse my bralette hanging up to dry. That needs moving downwards. And then there's a socket that's over there behind the telly. I need that raising. And then I want one over here. So when I want to have like my chair on charge or whatever, I've got something here to be able to have. Plus I'll have my phone, my house phone that will come here. Ooh, hear that wind. You know, and he says, well, all this is going to have to be moved, you know. And I was like, I'm quite aware. And the bed and everything. I'm thinking, well, how, I don't understand how this is going to all do when, you know, one room isn't even complete. I would have thought, let's sort the kitchen out, get the basics of it in, so at least, you know, if there's any things like, I'm hoping that they're putting me baskets in. That's what was the cupboard door for the storage area. That's been boxed in. I'm hoping that they're going to plaster over that as well, so it makes it all nice and smooth. Otherwise, it looks a bit shitty. So yeah, it's the flooring's also going to be pulled up, and I'll have new flooring down. But I just feel it's like they do a day and then that's it for X amount of days. They don't really do anything. Then they do a bit more and then that's it. They fuck off again. Instead of focusing on one job at a time. It's like I've got to live with this until someone comes back to do a bit more. But I am thinking that she has said that baskets will go in so I can reach the back of cupboards and stuff like that, you know. So it's going to make life easier for the areas that I can't easily reach, because of this one I can get to because I can put my legs underneath. Yeah. So anyhow, the door frame's been put on the wet room. You'll have to excuse my laundry all over the floor. I don't know why Luna's taken to sitting in the sink. I don't know. It's very strange. But that's what she seems to be doing at the minute. So let me zoom back out. But yeah, they've put the frame on, and I've got a worker that's supposed to be coming back today to do the door frame. Well, to do the door frame and then put the door on for the bathroom, wet room. It's a two-way opening door. So, you know, if my son has a fit behind the bathroom door, the door will open, but also for me as well. So if I'm in there with my chair and I have a fall, someone can get into me, you know. The switches here have been lowered. I asked for one to be down here. So I've got a socket, you know, that's out here as well. So say I'm doing hoovering or whatever, at least it helps me out. And then I've asked for, in the living room, you have to excuse the carnage because it's absolute chaos in here. You know, I just feel that this is just one big war zone. It's awful, I hate it. And I'm like, oh, don't look at it. So I've got a switch down there that needs raising. And then there's one in the very corner, down there, you have to just imagine, down here. And at the minute I've got a big extension cable going all the way around to get to my things like all my phones and stuff. I want one here, a socket. And he says, oh, it means then I've got to stretch all your wires up and around from there to there. And I'm like, and? You know, this is what you're being paid for, to do jobs like this, to help make my life easier. You know, not spit the dummy out and go, oh, I don't want to do that. This switch is being lowered. You know, the boss that come around when I was showing what needed to be done, he was like, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So I just get the impression that this guy does not want to do the work, and he's going to try his damnedest to wriggle his way out of a few things and just give me a basic version instead of what I'm asking for. Because she does put the OT to sort out whatever the client wants. So, sticking two fingers up at you, my laddie. And then I want a socket behind here. So then I can have, you know, reduce this down a bit. And I can have the telly plugged in here. And all my bits and paraphernalia can be on the wall rather than all exposed here. Yeah. So it makes life a bit more simpler. And, you know, these two, excuse my bedding, it's just a big mess. I slept on the chair last night. I did. I slept on the chair. I've left my covers, all my bits and bobs so the cats can sleep there, and it just makes life a bit simpler. I'm so pissed off because just everything is taking its time. This is my son's door, his had put on. So instead of opening inwards, it opens outwards like that. Excuses carnage. You don't want to see that. But that handle is fantastic. I love it. It's so easy to use and there's no flicky up bits. It's nice and chunky and I really like it. Easy to use, nice and light, really simple, and doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart, unlike the ones that were done by the council. I'm going to ask them if they can replace me this as well. Hang on. Shit, hang on. Wrong picture, that's it. So I'm going to ask if they can replace me one of that as well on that handle, so I'm not struggling with this horrible thing. It's falling apart anyway. Yeah, it's not very good. So I'm going to ask him to replace me that. So yeah, there's loads that need sorting out. And I'd have thought there'd be builders in just to get on with it. And instead, it's a nothing. And it does get me down, because I just want to get on and then get my, you know, my cleaner in to just tidy up and get in here. But nothing's happening. Hello. Nothing's happening. It really does piss me off. So I don't know. I just wish they'd get on with things now. You know, it just get you down because I've got plates in other places. I can't really get to my appliances. My fridge freezer I'm waiting to have put in here. That's another thing as well. Sockets need to go behind this fridge freezer area. I've got a cupboard that's sitting there. They don't know where they're going to put that, nor me. You know, I know, pretty girl, eh? So, yeah, I can't do any shopping because it's like everything's all up in the air. I've had to just get bits in. My stomach can't cope with any more noodle things. It's just like I've got to have a break. So we'll see what happens. We're still waiting on the plumber to come along and sort this pipe out. You know, it all has a ripple effect, and then they're all buggered off down to this house in Shrewsbury to sort it out. And I'm thinking, what about mine? You know, why start a job when you haven't got the workers to carry on doing the jobs? I know some things have been on order and ordered and waiting for things to come in, but surely there could be somebody free to just come in and just carry on with sorting out a bit more of this job and a bit more of that job. And instead, it's just like left in the air hanging. It's shit. So I'm not impressed at all. So here we are. Yeah. It's going to take about a month, I reckon, you know, with the way that they're working, and a day here and a half a day there and a bit here and a bit there. It's crap. You know, they're good. You know, the ones that have turned up that have been all right, and that one that come that was really good, I'd rather wait till he come back because he cracked on with everything. You know, the cats are scratching at the wood because it's like bare wood and it smells, and it's like, oh, something to scrap, you know, sharpen my claws on. What are you doing? Don't go eating stuff, hey? Behave. Right. So one of them said that he might be over today. Might, maybe, we'll see. Might be. You know, the job that he did on Monday took longer than planned, so he never got to do Tuesdays, and then I just feel excuse after excuse, and I just want to get on, and I'm sick of this, and I just thought, give it a week. I'll be in the position now of where I'm at least putting things in, and, you know, my cleaner will be here. And I just don't think so. I think next Monday I'm going to be getting my care people to be suspended yet again. I'll be like, I'm really sorry, but these builders are just taking their time. And I don't want things messed up with my care people, because I've got someone that comes for me. In the past couple of weeks, I've had to let her down. But I think I'm going to be into a third week of no care person. I'm just really fed up. And we'll see what happens. It'd be lovely if they just get on with things now. It's like I'm waiting on a sink and having jobs done for that, and but yeah, it's like I'm just left in limbo. And I don't want to sound like a moaner, but when you're waiting and suddenly you're left like living in a building site, and you know everything's all boxed up, and you can't get to things, and you can't do stuff, and it's like I'm wearing the same clothes all the while because I can't reach and get into my drawers and things. Move out the way now. So I just feel that this is just one gigantic mess. And I'm just fed up. You know, you wait for this to happen, and when it happens, it's like a little snippet here and a little snippet there and nothing else happening. It's just pants. So, and then they want me to move stuff, and I'm thinking, well, how can I move stuff when I can't? I've got nowhere to move it to because it's just chaos. And I need to be able to still get round in my chair. So, anyhow, rant over, catch you later. But this is what's happening today, Wednesday, week 2. Right, tatty bye.